Okay, now the PRETRIP Incab inspection is divided into two aspects. Okay, but before I enter the truck, I have to choke the wheels, make sure the wheels are choked. And then I use 3 points of contact to enter the truck. I close the door, then I fasten my seat belt. And then you have to tell the DMV to fasten the seat belt because there's a passenger in the truck right now. You're the driver. If you don't tell him, they'll fail you for that. Okay, then the DMV fasten the seat belt. After that, you know, like I said, the Incab is divided into two sections. You have section A, which is called the non-electrical part of the PRETRIP Incab inspection. That is, I do it without cranking the truck. Okay, I do section A without cranking the truck. Let me take off this thing. Okay, then section B is where I have to crank the truck. So now section A, the things that I need to do without cranking the truck is like the floor. I have to check the floor for any debris or any soda can that will roll under my pedal when I'm driving. I don't need to start the truck for that. So I'll check my floor, make sure my floor is clean, it's free of every debris. Then I would also have to check my 3 triangles, my reflector triangles. They are properly secured on the vehicle, no bend, broken, no crack. Okay. And then I will also have to check my fire extinguisher is over here on the door. Okay, the driver door. It's mounted and secured to the vehicle, no bend, broken, no crack. It's properly charged. You understand? And it's not leaking. So you tell him it's properly charged and it's not leaking. 10 BC fire extinguisher. After that, I will have to check my spare fuses. These are my spare fuses. They are properly secured to the vehicle, no bend, broken, no crack. Okay. Then after that, I'll sit up straight. I'll check all my mirrors. They are properly secured to the vehicle, no bend, broken, no crack. They are clean and they are adjusted properly. I could see all the way to the back of my truck on both sides. Then I'll check my window and the rubber seal on my window on both sides. They are properly secured to the vehicle, no bend, broken, no crack. The rubber is not leaking, okay, or no rip, torn, frayed, or dry, whatever they say, no abrasion, bumps, or cuts. Then I'll check my windshield, properly secured to the vehicle, no bend, broken, no crack. I detect no illegal stickers on my windshield, and my windshield is clean. It's not leaking. Check the rubber seal, make sure it's not leaking. And then after that, then I go to safe start. See, so that ends all the stuff that I need to check without cranking the truck. Now I'm going to the other stuff that I need to check when I'm starting the truck. So that's called the electrical part. So the first part is called the non-electrical part. That is, the engine should be silenced before I do all that. And then after I do that, then I go to the electrical part where the engine is running before I do the electrical part. So I go to safe start. As soon as I go safe start, look at my ABS here. It comes on and it has to go off. If it don't go off, I'll place this truck out of service because my ABS system, it would be faulty. But now it just went off, so that tells me that my ABS is working properly. Okay, then I step on the brake, then I crank the truck. Make sure the truck is on neutral. Now I'm doing the electrical part. Now, I could not check the gauges if the truck is not running. You can't just turn the truck on like that. Oh, sorry, without running the truck. Then you try to check your gauges, they will fail you for that. So now while the truck is running, I'll start with my oil gauge. Make sure it's working properly. That's my oil gauge. My RPM, this is the oil gauge. That's my RPM, is working properly. I'll gas it. See the needle move. So that tells you that my RPM is working properly. Then that's my temperature gauge or water gauge. It's working properly. These are my 2 air pressure gauges. They're rising to 125 PSI. So I'll gas the truck to help it build up faster. That's my fuel gauge. I have enough fuel to do the test. That's my speedometer gauge or mile per hour gauge. I could not check my speedometer now because the truck is not moving. But when I'm doing my 5 miles per hour test, or when I'm driving on the road doing the test, I'll test my speedometer. That's my volt gauge. I have 13.9 volts. So that tells you that my volt is working properly, my gauge is working properly. Okay, after I finish up with my gauges, let me see the depth gauge. Yeah, that's the depth gauge. Don't forget the depth gauge is working properly. I have enough depth to do the test. Okay, after I check all the gauges, then now I go to the light. I'll check my headlight, make sure I turn the headlight on. Then I go to my I-beam. See, my I-beam is working properly. After that, then I turn my I-beam off. Then I go to my right turn signal, it's working properly. See my right turn, then I go to my left turn signal, it's working properly. Then I come to my four-ways, flashers is working properly, okay? And then after I finish up with my lights, turn my four-ways off, then I come to my CD on, it's working properly. I go to my highway on, it's working properly. Then I go to my wiper now. Come to my wiper, make sure it's working properly. I check it for fluid. See, it's working properly, okay? And then after that, I'll check my heat and my defrost. Make sure they're working properly. I feel it for heat and cold. Okay? After I check my heat and my defrost, then the next thing I have to check, you know, is to make sure that my air pressure build up to 125 psi, and I listen to the sneeze, the governor purging. Okay? I wait for the governor to purge. You have to wait for that purging, that sneeze, because if you don't wait for the governor to sneeze, and then you keep on going on the test, it will fail you. On this Incab, you should not miss anything. You have to do everything correct. Because the thing is, if you don't allow the governor to purge, you can lock up your wheels when you try to move the truck, because it might be without sufficient air pressure, and then you will damage. One student damaged my tires here the other day. He did not build up the air pressure properly, and it started to move. So the time everybody was shouting, hey, 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 stop, stop, you already dragged the tire, and then you damage the tire. I have to change all of them. So that's the reason why the DMV fail you if you don't allow the governor to purge. Because when the governor purge, that means I have enough air in my air storage tank to move the truck. You know, everything is about safety. You have to do everything safely. So okay, now I'm waiting for the governor to purge. He sneeze. When he sneezes, that tells me my air storage tank is filled up with air. Then now I could proceed to the other steps. Good, hear the sneeze. So after the governor sneezes, then tell the DMV that I now have enough air in my air storage tank to continue with my test. Then I'll make sure the truck is on neutral. I'm going to do my air leak test now. Make sure the truck is on neutral. Wheels are choke, then I turn it off. There's a silence, and then I turn it back to the on position. There's another silence. Make sure the wheels are choke, truck is on neutral. Then I push my two valves in. And after I push my two valves in, then I allow the engine to settle down a little bit. Then I step on my brake for 1 minute. I should lose no more than 4 psi. Then you show the DMV. See, I step on my brake for 1 minute. I should lose no more than 4 psi in that 1 minute. It was 1638, now it's 1639, so that's 1 minute. I tell the DMV I lose no more than 4 psi. So after that, but you have to show him the time. Make sure that both of you are on the same time, because sometimes if you are not on the same time, they might fail you again. That's why make sure you show him your stopwatch. Say 1 minute, it was on 1638, now it's 1639. So you see, so that's 1 minute. So I lose no more than 4 psi. Then I'm going to do my fanning test, or my fan brake test. Say I'll fan my brake at 60 psi. My low air pressure warning alarm should come on. Say 1, 2, 3. That's my low air pressure warning alarm. You hear the buzzer now, beeping, beep, beep, beep. So it came on, right? Then you see I will continue to fan the brake between 40 to 20 psi. These two valves should pop out. One pop, you see both of them pop out, right? So after they pop out, They tell the DMV that was a good test. So now you have to build up your air pressure twice. The first one was for the air leak test. Now the second build up is for your torque test and your 5 miles per hour test. So you turn the torque to the off, then you crank the torque again. See, make sure this thing out properly. Don't charge it, don't pull it out. If you pull it out, it will fail you. But I'm just trying to make sure that they are out properly. If you charge it on the test, I know one guy trying to pull him out by himself, they fail him right away. So you don't have no business with them, don't charge them. So this truck is different. It is the primary air, secondary, sorry, you have the primary and the secondary air storage tank. So normally it's the primary one that builds up the air pressure first before you go to the secondary. But both of them have to be 125 psi. Okay. So after this one got up to this, then you see now the secondary air storage tank started building up too. So it too is going to build up to 100, then both of them go to 125. So you have to be patient when you're building up your pressure. You hear the governor purging, the governor just sneezes. So after that, you push the yellow valve in to check the trailer brake. This one is the tractor parking brake. This one is the trailer air supply brake. So this is for the tractor, this is for the trailer. So the one that's out, that's the one you check. So I push my tractor to check my trailer brake. Then I go to drive, step on the brake and go to drive. Then I gas the truck. Truck did not go nowhere because my trailer brake is holding, right? Then now I push the, sorry, truck did not go nowhere because my trailer brake is holding. Now I put the trailer brake in, I pull the tractor brake out, then I put the trailer brake in. Now I'm testing my tractor brake, my tractor parking brake. Put the truck on drive again. Gas seat is still on drive, truck did not go nowhere. That means my tractor brake is holding. Then I push both of them in, I do 5 miles per hour. We call that the service brake test. Go back to drive. Anytime you hear that beeping, you have to bring it to neutral and then go back to drive. Then I go to drive. Then I stop the truck after 5 miles per hour. And then I'll tell the DMV by my truck did not pull to the left or to the right. My steering wheel did not pull to the left or to the right. I was able to stop in a straight line. So that means I don't have no alignment problem and my service brake is working properly. So at this point, I will pull my brakes again, put the truck in neutral, and I'll tell the DMV to go outside and check all my lights. So the DMV will step outside of the truck, he will check all my tractor and my trailer lights. He will go there, tell me to turn on my headlights, I turn it on. Left, right turn signal, I turn it on. He tell me to turn my left turn on, I turn it on. He tell me to turn my four ways on, I turn them on. Then he will tell me to turn, to step on my brake. Then I step on my brake, my brakes are working. Then we'll do the same thing again to the trailer. Tell me to turn my left turn, his signal is working. Tell me to turn my right turn, is working. Then tell me to turn my four ways, they are working. Then he will tell me to step on my brakes again. And I step on my brake to make sure that the trailer brakes are working. At this point, the DMV will come, tell me to shut down the truck. Shut down the truck, is on neutral. They will tell me to get down. And then it will read all the instructions from the iPad for me. Okay. It might tell you to do pre-trip. The pre-trip might either be you do the entire truck or you do section A, which is from the front to the back of the coupling. Okay. And then section B, which is from the back of the coupling to the side up to the engine again. And then section C is from the coupling, that is the back of the trailer, the headerboard, the coupling all the way to the back of the trailer. So when you do everything that the DMV tells you to do, then it will tell you if you pass or you fail. If you pass, okay, then it gives all the instructions for you to do the straight back. Okay, after you do the straight back, and then it will tell you to do the offset. After you do the offset, then it will tell you to do the, how do you call it? It will tell you to do the parallel. After you do the parallel, it's like it takes 10 minutes to do each. After you do the parallel, then it will read the instructions for you, then you go on the road. So if you go on the road and then you pass, that's it. Good luck. Get your CDL. So now I talk about the outside. The outside is what you do first before you do the Incab. But since it's all part of the training, that's why I explained to you about that. You always do the outside pre-trip first before you do the Incab. What we just did was the Incab. The Incab is going for 15 minutes. The outside of the truck, the entire truck, or whichever part they give you to do on the outside, either section A, B, or C, it goes for 30 minutes. So I don't know which way some people want to do, whether you want to do the Incab first before you go, but it's always good to do the outside first. After you do the outside, then you do the Incab. So after that, then the DMV tell you you pass. After you come up from the road. If you do good on the road, you turn wide, create a good following distance, you watch your side mirrors, you watch road sign and all this other stuff, then you should be good. Get your CDL. Okay? Okay, I'll stop there for now. Thank you.